Hello there, and welcome back to Mourning Brew, the show where the coffee is strong, but the stories are what keep you awake throughout the night. Today's roast comes straight from the mountains of Hokkaido, Japan. It's July 24th, 1989, and Mount Asai, Dake, is reeling from one of the worst, most violent storms to strike the area in months. As the twilight fades into night, and the mountain and surrounding woods begin to descend into gloom, a lone search helicopter spotlight cuts through the murky darkness. The pilot and his team are searching for two lost hikers from Tokyo who have now been missing for over 24 hours. At the moment, daylight is fading fast, and with it, so too are the team's hopes of mounting a successful rescue. Hours pass, and there have been no signs of human activity in the area. The helicopter pilot is just about to call it. Then, he spots something in the distance. There, just south of the mountain, a mammoth-sized SOS becomes illuminated on the forest floor. As they proceed to get closer, they begin to realize that it has been put together using a number of logs. With renewed hope, the pilot begins to hover around the area in search of any sign of the hikers. It would only take another hour of searching before the inevitable would happen. There, just outside of a cave, the rescuers would find the lost hikers. They were cold, bruised, malnourished, and shaken to their very core. But most importantly, they were alive. Once in the helicopter, the rescue team gave the hikers warm blankets and reassured them that everything was going to be okay. After they had been stabilized, one of the EMTs began to praise the hikers' quick thinking, harking back to the SOS sign that had been spotted earlier. Eerily, the hikers became extremely quiet and looked at one another with a confused glance. With a shaky voice, one of the hikers spoke up and said, "We didn't make an SOS sign." Confused, the EMT then asked the pilot to make sure that he flew over the sign on the way back to the city. When they proceeded to do so, the EMT gestured out the window. Still, the hikers maintained that they had nothing to do with the sign. At this point, an icy realization began to fester within the crew. If these two hikers did not create the SOS sign, then who did?
So, by the way, we learned today, before we start our story, me and Fernando are related. Let him know.
Okay, relax, all right. So we both, just for everyone out there, we both did our ancestry DNA. And so if my DNA is ever planted on a cold case from like 60 years ago that I was there as the perpetrator, just know that I wasn't even alive, but free Nando. But the way it works is, I suppose that DNA is constantly evolving in the sense that I kind of looked at the frequently asked questions. I'm like, how can my DNA change from like 2 years ago when I did this? And it's because they're constantly comparing it and using different patterns of DNA and breaking it down to make sure that like it's as accurate as possible. So with that, the more samples they get, the more evidence and research they can do and be like, oh, this DNA is actually closely related to this region or this region. So long story short, for the longest time, I was under the impression that I was just indigenous in Spanish, like indigenous Mexico and Spain. That's it. But they've updated my DNA, and I was poking around because I got an email, and then I asked Austin, like, hey, did they update your DNA? And needless to say, we share about 7%, and it's mostly Southern German and a little bit of England, Somerset. And yeah, so that's kind of interesting, I thought.
So the SparkNotes version is we're blood brothers.
We're not blood brothers. But I'm wondering if like maybe our ancestors had feuds.
Maybe
we hated each other, or maybe we are like distantly related, and that's why I can kind of tolerate you.
Could be.
I like to think that maybe our ancestors hated each other and fought for land, and you like maybe like took advantage and lied to the town clerk.
I'm glad to see we're carrying on that tradition.
Yeah. It's like If reincarnation is real, I just imagine like kind of like the SpongeBob 2000 years ago. It's like me and you are somewhere in Somerset, England or Southern German 200, 300 years ago. And I'm just like, get out of my life. And you're like, no.
You better hope it's not real because it will never end. It'll be an endless loop
God,
until time ends.
It's like a, for real, that is hell. I think we are in hell.
But yes, so that was there's our cataclysmic news for the day. There's our update on our lives. All right, well, let me tell you a little bit about Mount Asahi Dake quick, okay? Because I don't know much about it.
Give me the lore, brother.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the lore.
I mean, yeah, you're not cultured. You've never been outside the United States.
I've been to I have actually been to Iceland. I've been to Scotland. I do want to go to Japan, but actually
Scandinavia countries.
Yeah, I want to go to Japan.
Sick. I want to go back. I want to go back. We should go.
We should go. I agree.
We should go.
Maybe we can go to Mount Asahi Dake.
Mm-hmm. I've never been to Hokkaido. I've always wanted to go, honestly. It's like, especially in the winter, it's like the one part of Japan that gets like a lot of snow.
It's pretty.
It is very pretty.
All right.
Would you get in an onsen with me?
Get in a what?
An onsen.
What is
Do you know what that is?
No.
Hot spring.
I've already been in one, but yes, I would.
No, but like you have to be naked.
They can't handle it.
It's not like you could go in with board shorts, dude. Like you are straight up.
You can't handle the power of the Gemini.
I think I can two-hand it, dude.
All right.
I can tame that dragon, dude. What is it like in Avatar where like he takes his and like the beast he connects them?
I'm gonna talk about the mountain, okay?
Go for it. I'm sorry, Austin.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, please get us back on track.
I will. Mount Asahi Dake, or Peak of the Morning Sun, is the tallest mountain on Japan's northernmost island of Hokkaido and sits at the heart of the
Daisetsuzan.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. National Park. Yeah, it's better than I was going to come up with. Which happens to be Japan's largest national park. Currently, Asahi Dake is an active volcano, and it is possible to find a variety of steam vents and sulfurous plumes rising from various areas around the mountain. For many locals, hiking this mountain is akin to walking on sacred ground. The reason for that is quite simple. It is sacred ground. For the Ainu people, the indigenous inhabitants of Hokkaido, Asahi Dake is deeply spiritual. They view the mountain as a home of the gods, a place where the spiritual world and the natural world meet. That reverence still echoes today in the quiet of the forest, the roar of the wind above the tree line, and the stillness of the alpine ponds reflecting the sky. Culturally, Asahi Dake is seen as a symbol of Hokkaido's rugged beauty and resilience, not just a popular hiking and skiing destination. It's a place where seasons are as vivid as they are beautiful and as dramatic as they are dangerous. In early summer, fields of wildflowers burst into bloom. By autumn, the hills blaze with red and gold foliage, and in winter, the mountain transforms into a snow-covered wonderland, drawing skiers and snowboarders from around the world. At the foot of the mountain, you'll find Asahi Dake Onsen, a small hot spring village that serves as the main base for visitors. After a long hike or a day on the slopes, there's nothing like soaking in natural hot spring waters with views of a smoking volcano in the distance. Unfortunately, this idyllic description is probably not how the individual who created that SOS sign would explain Mount Asahi Dake.
What do you mean, bud?
Well, you're going to figure that out. But yeah, it's a pretty place. I've seen a lot of pictures.
Honestly,
it looks beautiful.
Japan is a gorgeous country. And I feel bad for them, actually, because they are being... Listen, I went 7 years ago, and it's a very beautiful, respectful culture. Like, there is some nationalism, as with any country, and, like, you have people that hate foreigners, but for the most part, they, at least outwardly, they are very respectful. They are very to themselves. Like, the train cars, they are, like... Listen, they're not without their problems. They have women-only train cars, and that's kind of self-explanatory. But for the most part, like, there's no trash or litter in the streets. Like, a lot of people actually have to carry their trash because there's not a lot of bins. And when you do throw stuff away, you have to like separate like if I had a Coke bottle, let's use this beer bottle, I would take the cap, that goes in its own little section. The label comes off, that goes in its own section, then the bottle goes in its own section. Like they recycle, like they're just very on top of everything. And then in the train cars, like you can be on your phone, but you can't be talking on your phone. You can't be like listening to music out loud. Like it's very frowned upon culturally. And then they respect their environment. Like the sakura trees that bloom, they're very respectful of it. They just respect nature, like unlike us. And it's just a really cool place to be, honestly. Like, and I feel bad for them because like you have a lot of Westerners that are going there more and more because like the US or like the Japanese yen was like they had a bit of a like economic recession, I believe, a couple of years ago where their dollar fell in power, and then like so led to an uptick in tourism, especially after the Olympics. And we're kind of like Europeans and Westerners are just like really like behaving like Westerners, you know, like no regard for like the culture they're in and thinking like, oh, I'm a tourist, I can do what I want. I don't live here. I'm above the law.
Yeah, I can see that'd be a little problematic.
If you go to Japan, just be empathetic and just be respectful. That's all you got to do.
That's fair.
Just follow the customs of the people there. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting off my soapbox now.
That's okay. You can get you can get off your soapbox in front of the podium because you can actually kick off a story because last you read they had an SOS sign that apparently did not belong to the two hikers, and now they're like, what the fuck? Who does this belong to?
Who made that?
Yeah.
The tribes people.
Maybe. Ooh, maybe.
The indigenous.
Could be.
Let's see. I don't know if there's still indigenous people there. We'll find out. July 25th, 1989. The morning after the hikers had been rescued, state park authorities and police were dispatched to the scene of the SOS sign. With daylight now on their side, the team confirmed that the plea for help had been constructed in a flat wetland about 2.5 miles south of the summit. The sign itself was made up of 19 cleanly cut birch tree logs that measured about 16 feet long. Bizarrely, the symbol was nowhere near any known hiking trails and was actually located in a relatively inaccessible part of the mountain. In fact, the only way to get out here would have been for the individual, or individuals, to climb down a series of steep cliffs, navigate a dense forest, and cross the turbulent Chubetsu River. All in all, it made practically no sense for anybody to descend down the mountain in this direction. Yet, the existence of the sign made it clear that someone had indeed done just that. Authorities would only need to spend 3 hours searching the ground before they would find their first clue. Unfortunately, the evidence found would change the situation from a rescue mission to a Jane Doe case. Within a couple of 100 feet of the sign, a variety of human bones covered in bite marks had been found scattered throughout the area. Additionally, a backpack with a Sony Walkman, 4 cassette tapes, and some toiletries was also found among the bones. Other than those items, nothing else was found. Examiners from the Asahikawa Medical University would reach back out to investigators and notify them that the bones had belonged to a female. She would have been between 20 and 40 years of age, about 5 foot 3 inches tall, and had type O blood. Furthermore, it was discovered that the individual had been subjected to bone fractures in multiple locations before she passed away. Chillingly, the medical examiners also determined that she had died between 1 and 3 years ago. Okay, so I have my theory.
Okay, go for it.
So that SOS sign is just coincidental. It's just someone actually did end up there, like you said, 1 to 3 years ago. Probably put out that SOS sign hoping someone would find them, passed away before anyone could find them, and that's their corpse there, just near the body. In the elements, whether it's wind, storms, rain, mudslide, what have you, animals dragging the body, eating it, scavengers, like just kind of took the body about a couple feet like away from it where it originally was, maybe yards, and it's just all a big coincidence.
So first of all, that is, that's what they've come to this conclusion. Like that's at this moment, that is the conclusion. And that's logical. That makes complete sense. Like, who built the SOS sign? Well, there's the remnants of a body over there. It was probably them. Yeah. Fair enough. So
they were never found, but their reincarnated spirit was able to bring the other hikers home so they could avoid the same fate.
Maybe. But that isn't actually the mystery.
That's not the mystery?
That's not the mystery. I know, it's crazy. Actually, you know what? That was the mystery. I guess we could just pack up now. Fernando got it. It's over. It's time to go home, everybody. Hope you enjoyed.
All right, everybody pack it up, dude.
That's the shortest podcast we've had so far.
Subscribe to Austin's OnlyFans, his Patreon.
And Feet Finder.
Help us get some subs. We're really hurting in these economic times.
Dude, we got 3 this week.
We got 3. Are we at 21?
We're 21. I know.
Shut the front door.
I know. Crazy. Aka, excuse me?
Hey, thanks for supporting. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of racist. Chill with it.
How's that racist? Acapella's racist?
Oh, I thought you were trying to do like a Japanese English hybrid thing.
No. Oh, you've never seen Pitch Perfect?
No, I never actually.
Okay, well then.
But like, I know "excuse me" in Japan is sumimasen. Like, excuse me, sumimasen.
I actually knew that. Actually, I just
then forgot. Sorry is gomenasai.
Yeah, no.
Or gomenasari.
That does not sound at all like "aka, excuse me."
Well, I thought you were doing that because like I have some really dumb. Okay, listen, they're not dumb, but they're kind of dumb. But they say stuff like "gomenasari," like English Japanese hybrid. And I'm like, dude, stop.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I can.
And then I end up parodying it, like for years at a time afterwards.
And you say it ironically, that it becomes part of your life.
Exactly. And now I got to relearn the English language because I don't remember how to speak English.
That's me with the word brother. I started out with it like ironically, and now I say it all the fucking time.
Yeah, it happens like that. You just call Sam brother, like listen
brother.
Here,
I call her brother all the time. Obviously, that's ironic when I call her brother, but yeah. Okay, so we're at the scene of the crime. It's not really a crime at this moment. At least I don't think it would be a crime in my opinion.
I mean,
it's like someone got lost, right? I mean, would you agree?
I mean, honestly, yeah, like you said, like it describes the terrain to get there, right? You got to cross a river, like treacherous terrain, all this stuff. What probably happened is maybe they went off the beaten path, slid down that mountain like unintentionally, just like kind of like lost their footing, tumbled down, and when they were tumbling, they probably like the autopsy said had some bone fractures, unable to really like get out of there without help, so they drag the wood to form a quick SOS.
It's solid logic, and I will admit, like, I understand. This is what 1989, yeah, 1989.
Yep.
It is kind of crazy.
This is like satellite phones. I don't think they even had cell phones really, like, ubiquitously. Like cell phones are ubiquitous now in the terms that they're like everywhere, but in the 80s, like 89, I think like only like the elite had cell phones. Like maybe there was pagers.
There were pagers, and cell phones were typically like in cars, and they were like nice cars too, like BMWs and Mercedes.
Well, no, like I mean, you had those like giant brick cell phones,
right? Yeah, which were like, in the car. Like
no, like there were mobile ones too, Austin. That now we're in the car.
Okay, sorry, I think of the car. I'm sorry. But
yes, like if you were rich, you could have a phone in your car, but there were also just like these bricks that you're like, hello.
You pay an assistant to carry it around. But what I want to focus...
No, you just put it in your bag. Your briefcase.
Okay. Your briefcase, yes. What I want to hone in on here quick, though, is it's 1989, and the detail that they were able to extract from bones that were 1 to 3 years, out in the wild, between 20 and 40 years of age. I get that in a way because you can, like, how big the bones got. 5 feet tall. But then you have type O blood, and it passed away between...
I didn't know forensics could do blood.
I mean, like at this time, I didn't know they could do that. And I don't know much about the history of forensics, to be honest with you. I mean, when I was growing up, my parents watched Forensic Files all the time. And I was like, oh my God, this is like magic.
And it's like the family of 5 seemed happy
until they weren't.
Until the father murdered everyone,
including the dog.
And it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, no.
He threw his 2 daughters in an oil tanker to like dissolve the bones. And
It's like, oh, okay. I didn't see that one coming.
Dude. All right.
So yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they were able to, come up with that much information at this time off of so little. So I just think it's, kind of a testament to how far we've come in terms of that. So it's kind of cool.
We're always going far. And then, anyways, yeah.
So, like you just said, at first, I got to tell you the date. July 27th, 1989. So what, the next day, right? Yeah.
2 days later?
2 days later. I'm sorry, 2 days later. At first glance, the evidence suggested that this was an open and shut case. While yes, it was all quite sad, it did appear to be a simple case of a hiker getting lost in the woods and succumbing to the elements. However, if you stop and think about it, nothing about this is simple at all. Going by what the medical examiner claimed, you would have to accept that a 5'3" individual with broken bones and who was presumably exhausted. Remember, they had to scale cliffs, go through densely packed woods, and cross a raging river. So, and it's I don't know what time, but it gets cold. It must have been nighttime.
Counterpoint: if you're on the verge of death, adrenaline can do a lot.
That's true. I agree, and that is definitely something to keep in mind here. But there's no doubt about it, this person was exhausted. And, if you start a hike, you start in the morning. So by the time they got here...
I mean, not necessarily, dude. I've seen people start the hike like mid-afternoon, dude.
Okay, more lunch. Than likely, by this point, it's nighttime.
Do you have data to back
I
this up?
But there's some stuff you have to infer, okay? There's some things you just kind of have to...
Not necessarily, dude.
Okay, then what happened? What time was it?
She started the hike at noon.
Okay.
Maybe she started at dawn, dude. Then at in the middle of the night.
Nighttime. It's cold. She's wet, exhausted, and she's stuck here. Okay. 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 There we go. Making me break a sweat, man.
Finally, dude.
So going by what the medical examiner claimed, you'd have to accept that this 5'3" individual with broken bones and who was presumably exhausted, shaking my hands because I mean it, somehow managed to chop down 19 birch trees and drag them into place. Keep in mind that this area was about 2.5 miles down from the summit and involved crossing plenty of perilous terrain. Also, they could tell that the logs had been chopped. Like when they said freshly chopped, what they actually meant was chopped with an axe. Like
it was actually that clean of a cut?
Right. It was a clean cut. And, well, furthermore, how on earth did she even chop down the trees in the first place? No axe was ever found. And an axe is not typically an item that you pack on a hike. Could she have? Yes, she could have done that. But I have been on many hikes, and I have never seen anybody bring an axe with them on a hike. This poses yet another twist and yet another uncomfortable question. Was this woman alone on the mountain when she passed away? Because again, these are heavy trees. Like, we'll talk more about that later. But cause I don't want to ruin your little bit coming up. The first 3 tapes included recording songs from various anime at the time. Specifically, songs from, I'm going to butcher this, but specifically songs from Macross and
I never heard of Macross.
And Magical Princess Minky Momo. I don't know that one either.
I don't know that
were
one either.
Present throughout the duration of the tapes. However, it was the 4th tape that proved to be the most interesting. I have something to play for you. Give me a moment. I hope you can hear this. I hope my audio doesn't try to cut it out. So this is what was on the 4th tape. It's probably gonna play an ad. So hang on a second.
You don't have Spotify Premium?
It's not on Spotify.
Oh.
Why would this be on Spotify?
I don't know. Where's the YouTube?
Just listen. What is something you notice immediately about that recording, like before even knowing what the hell is going on.
All right, let me re-listen to that. I got an ad. Hold on.
And this is something you'll know in the first 5 seconds. So let's go over who the victim was.
I mean, I hear a click, but...
Well, they were a 20 to 40-year-old, 5'3".
It sounds like a woman.
You think that sounds like a woman?
I think so.
That, my friend, is a male's voice.
Are you sure?
Positive. Everybody, like even the,
I don't.
that's a man's voice.
I think it sounds like a woman.
So, well, most of the people that listened to it thought it was a male's voice, which is a little bizarre considering the autopsy determined it was a 20 to 40-year-old, 5'3", typo-blooded female.
Yeah.
So that's weird. And the translation, just so you know, the translation is SOS, help me. I'm stuck on the cliff. SOS, help me. I'm at the location where I first met the helicopter. The saw is deep and I can't climb up. Please pick me up here.
Damn.
So there's some weird things about that message as well. So is there anything about that message that you think is a little weird? Like, obviously, SOS, help me. I'm stuck on the cliff. Okay, that's pretty generic.
The helicopter.
Right. So where I first met the helicopter, what is the helicopter he's talking about? What helicopter met this person? Who knew about this person missing and didn't do anything? Like, it's a weird thing to say. It wouldn't be what would make more sense. And to be fair, maybe it's a translation thing. I don't know. But you think it would be, I'm at the location. I mean, why they would mention this, I don't know, but maybe they're delirious. I'm at the location where I saw the helicopter. Maybe they really thought they saw it, but if I say I met the helicopter, you would think like they shined the spotlight on me and I was doing this and I knew for a fact that they saw me. It's very weird. It's a weird way to, talk, in my opinion, in this case. Like, it doesn't seem right.
Natural. So,
second of all, like you were saying earlier, we thought it was they thought it was a female. But this person who is, I understand you think it sounds like a female, and that's okay, that's fine. But most people seem to think it's a male, including the police and everyone. And he didn't mention being with a female. He doesn't mention he's with anybody. So it's a little weird.
Well, I mean, if there was a second person.
Right. But if, and that would only mean that that would have been the female that they found. That would have been not this person, which would insinuate they were with someone. Now, granted, we don't know that.
Because if there was a second person, that changes, like, they easily could have, like, cut down some trees with an axe if they had brought something.
Right.
And then made an SOS sign.
Exactly. 100% agree with you there. So this is where it's getting a little funky. Like, again, nothing like crazy yet, but it's like, was there another person? Should we be looking for another person right now? Are we by themselves? Are they, of course they're not out there anymore unless they somehow have stuck it out for like 3 years. I don't know. But it's a little perplexing, and it's cause to kind of stop and think about what is going on, because something is not adding up. So, after the haunting message within the tapes had been uncovered, investigators were left absolutely baffled. At the moment, police had the body of a female, or at least what was left of one, and a recording of a male's voice. A case that was thought to have been solved mere hours ago had just been cracked wide open once again. So, yeah, no one's insinuating a murder here. No one's insinuating aliens, nothing like that. But it's just, like I said at the beginning, this is just like a classic mystery, like something just, and granted, we also have to understand this is 1989.
The year Taylor Swift was born, our Lord and Savior.
Hashtag the life of a showgirl. Remember to sponsor us. But yeah, no, it's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely more to investigate in this situation. We can't just stop there. In good faith, you can't stop there. So thank you for
Well,
your
I'm curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, thank you for your solid detective work there.
Okay. So another 2 days later, July 29th, 1989. A few days after the revelation, an inquisitive local reporter named Koyo Aburantani decided to conduct his own sweep of the area surrounding the SOS sign. Like many other of the investigators, he too had been intrigued by all of the details that had not been lining up. Oddly, despite the amount of effort that had been conducted in the previous search, Koyo would find something quite grim after only an afternoon of searching. Only 165 feet away from the sign, Koyo discovered a large hole hidden underneath some tree roots. After peering into the hole, the man jumped back when he saw something peer back out at him. That something was a human skull. After recovering from what he had just witnessed, the reporter began to look further into the hole and found a number of items. This included the following: 2 cameras, a notebook, jewelry, and a tripod. Most intriguing of all, however, was the presence of a license. After cleaning off the ID, Koyo could see that the words on the document were still legible. Apparently, the license had belonged to a man named Kenji Iwamura. He was from Konan City, which was about 800 miles away. What made this extremely creepy, however, was the fact that Iwamura was last seen 5 years ago.
So, again,
So, is this the man on the recording?
So that's...
We don't know?
Right. Well, depends who you ask, and we're going to delve more into that later. But yeah, so, again, like, I don't think anything thus far is like, oh my, like, it's, in my opinion, like, each piece that we're getting, yes, it adds a little bit of mystery, but also solving things, which is good. If you're doing an investigation, that's what you want. So now, I'm sure any rational...
I don't want to solve things.
Why not? You don't want to solve problems? You just want to create problems?
Paycheck, dude.
You just want to create the problems?
I just want to collect my paycheck, go home, do it to my wife.
Well, good thing you
weren't. My deadbeat kids that take advantage of me.
Brother, I'm trying to do I'm going to start putting a bit of you as a detective. You can't have that attitude as a detective on this show.
Sorry.
You get paid good money on this show.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. My wife just takes my paycheck and I'm pretty sure she's cheating on me. I've been following her to the motel off Route 68.
You're your own private investigator.
Times are hard in this.
You're just taking pictures and crying going through the camera. Oh,
and then I come to my own office and I sit in the client's seat and I hand myself some documents and then I run to the other side and I open them. I'm like, oh my god!
You just spin around and like play someone else. You're like, oh, Fernando. I'm glad you're here. I have horrible news. 1 second.
1 second.
What's the news? Just keep going back and forth. And you're just, every turn, you're progressively crying more and more. Oh, God.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Give yourself the money.
She's taking the kids. And the dog.
Oh, God. So, okay, we got a name, right? It was Kenji
Iwamura.
So now, this is also throwing some weird stuff in because he disappeared 5 years ago. Basically, by this point, if I'm an investigator or anybody, observing this, like, let's say you're the reporter, you've got to be thinking, like, what the hell were they doing? Like, when they did, like, this analysis of the bones, they got the gender wrong. They got the gender wrong. They got the timeline wrong. They're sitting here saying, oh, it's between 1 and 3 years. And I get it. It's difficult. But he disappeared 5 years ago. So, like...
Yeah, is no one, like... Listen, maybe these people are lonely and they have, like, no one in their lives, but who's not looking for them?
Right.
Like, do they not have friends? Do they not have, like, a neighbor that's like, hey... Do they not have a mailman that's like, yo, this guy hasn't collected his mail in, like...
So,
a year.
To answer your question, people actually did care. I mean, I am going to get into that. People did care. Okay. People were looking for him. It's just... The analysis is bullshit, honestly, at this point. Like, they basically have struck nothing. Like, they got nothing right. I mean, maybe Ken, I actually didn't look that up. Maybe Kenji was 5'3". I don't know. To be honest, that's kind of the least of, I mean, it matters, but how much stock can you put in that? Because they didn't get anything else right. Like, and the thing is, I mean, I don't know, but people have different bone structures. Certain people have longer, like, arms and torsos and shorter legs. You know, like, that people are just people. I mean, yes, of course you can infer things, and I'm sure nowadays you could probably get a lot better at that. But I don't have much faith in the medical examining office, or whatever the hell you call it, because they haven't got anything right. So now we at least have a name. We have to, I guess, assume this is his body, even though nothing kind of really fits at this point. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give you the information you wanted about Kenji, so you don't think no one gave a shit, because people did give a shit.
That's good. That's good. I feel better for him now. So
to talk about Kenji, though, we're going to have to go back about 5 years to July 10th. So we're going to go back to July 10th, 1984. Kenji Iwamura.
5 years earlier.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. It said that in parentheses, but you didn't read it.
Well, I said 5 years. We have to go back 5 years, and I said the date, but it's okay.
Yeah, and then you can do 5 years earlier.
Okay, we'll do that.
I mean, you wrote it.
I wrote it. I can change it. I brought this into the world. I can take it out.
I can take you. Okay, Mom.
Kenji Iwamura had just arrived at the base of Mount Asahi Dake and was eager to dive into his hiking trip. He was 25 years old. Hey, they got that right. They did say between 20 and 40. They got that right. He was 25 years old and had just arrived at the base lodge completely alone. Kenji had just arrived from Konan City and had had his eye on tackling the mountain for quite some time. Once inside the lodge, which also served as a hotel, Kenji immediately walked to the front desk and checked in. While talking with the hotel manager, he proceeded to explain that he would immediately begin to summit the mountain as soon as everything was squared away. This surprised the hotel manager, as there was a storm set to arrive in the area within the next few hours. Despite explaining his concerns, however, Kenji confidently brushed these worries aside and refused to waver. Despite the young man's confidence, the hotel manager never stopped worrying. So there's one person that at least cares about him at this moment. That's good. Hours would go by, and still there would be no sign of Kenji. And then the storm blew in. Rain, wind, thunderstorms, you name it, this storm brought it. Then the storm ended. Still, there was no sign of Kenji. Hours turned into days. The manager reported Kenji as missing, and local authorities combed the area. There was still no sign of him. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into years. Kenji never came back. So they did look for him. They really did, which honestly, at this point, and I know we're only given so much information because they don't release all the info until they kind of have an idea what's going on. But you would hope that the second they realize, oh my God, there's someone out there, that this guy was there. But you would think, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe they were just so dead set on this being a woman. They didn't even think. But the guy went missing 5 years ago. I think the thing that really threw him off with this is they're thinking, like, this SOS sign at first must have been fresh because that's what they thought. Because they thought the hikers did it.
I guess my question really is, if there was a body found near the SOS sign with belongings, and then this guy found another human remains and more belongings in a hole somewhere else.
Could that be another person?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Because
I'm thinking it could be potentially two people.
Right. Well, how much? Grant, I don't know. I'm not being a smartass here. I don't know the answer to the question. How much stuff did this guy bring? That's quite a bit for a hike. You know what I mean?
It is, but I mean, maybe a critter.
Could be.
Like a little raccoon picked it up and like took it to his little burrow or whatever.
I mean, I have seen many tourists way overpack for certain hikes. Like, like Mount Ampersand, for example. I know it doesn't mean anything to you, but it's a mountain between Tupper Lake and Saranac Lake.
That sounds like a fake mountain.
It's very real, I promise you.
I highly doubt that. I've never seen you hike.
You wouldn't go hiking with me anyway, so you
wouldn't take me anyways. You would invite me and then just ditch me, and you never pick me up.
Do you want to go hiking next time you come up? I'll take you on a hike.
You won't pick me up.
I'm not picking you up a mountain. You're gonna
No,
have to,
I'm saying you won't actually come and get me.
you can come to my house and we will drive in my
I
car
would
to the
literally
mountain.
be in your house, dude, and I'll wake up and you're gone.
Well, probably because you wouldn't wake up early enough. Because you're one of the people we talked about earlier who'd want to go on an evening hike. And then we'd be lost in a mountain and have to build an SOS sign. And then we would die because no one found us. Because I probably fell and broke my leg and you're not going to help me. And you're going to be stuck there. And you're going to be like, I need help, but I don't know what to do because I'm scared to go by myself. So we just sit there and argue until we starve to death. And then they find our body 3 years later. And one of us is missing.
I think once you died to infection or whatever, I would just eat your body.
You would want to eat an infected body.
Oh, I mean, I just cooked the infected parts off.
Yeah. You know what? This story is believable because it's exactly what fucking happened to us. So, good. You know, the only difference is, I guess, maybe, well, you're less heavy, so maybe an animal would drag you away and throw you into a hole and they'd find your skull. I don't know.
Probably.
Okay.
Back to the story. Austin got a lot off his chest there that he'd been bottling up.
So hike next time you come?
You never hike. And listen, when I say you abandon me, you abandon me. Every time. How many times did you invite me snowboarding and you never came to get me?
How many times did you want to go?
7?
How many times did you want to go?
I even bought snow pants. That was like $200 bucks.
Oh, the snow pants. What a buy-in.
I was like, yo, I am ready to go, Austin. I bought boots from Ravi. Fucking Ravi, dude. Charged me like $150 for boots or whatever. Fucking, I bought snow pants. I got my stuff, Austin. I'm ready. I even bought a snowboard from, I think, nice old man. Helped him move. Ferguson.
Oh, John Ferguson.
John Ferguson, his son's snowboard. And you never got me, dude. You never came for me.
Do I go snowboarding?
Fuck you. Back to the story. What really happened? After all these years, it appeared that investigators had finally figured out exactly what had happened to Kenji Iramura all those years ago. While definitely sad and tragic, it did appear that no one had been malicious to Kenji. Just a series of unfortunate events that led to a very terrible ending. After a few days, investigators were able to piece together a plausible series of events for Kenji's final days on Mount Asahi Dake. On July 10th, 1984, Kenji Iwamura began his ascent. Because of the incoming storm, there are practically no hikers on the mountain during this time, meaning that no one sees Kenji. After a few hours, Kenji makes it to an area that has been designated as Fake Safe Rock and begins to head south.
It's like Fake Taxi, but a rock.
Fake what?
Taxi.
What's that, Austin?
I don't know. I hear the youngins talking about it on social media. Sorry, go on.
Safe Rock was an area many hikers used as a cairn of sorts to help them navigate the trail. Fake Safe Rock has been mistaken for this many times. As time goes on, he realizes that he is headed away from Peak and begins to panic. Amidst the confusion, during the storm, he falls off a cliff and breaks a number of bones. Through the pain and agony, Kenji constructs the SOS sign and waits. Eventually, his voice begins to hurt, so he records his SOS plea to keep playing on a loop for rescuers. Ultimately, no help arrives, and Kenji eventually passes away tragically.
It's not a happy ending.
No, it's very morbid. It's very sad. The amount of fear and panic in a person that knows no one's coming is something that I wouldn't wish on anybody. Like, that's got to be the ultimate loneliness right there. And then just, I couldn't even, like, I'm a very empathetic person, but I could not even like comprehend how awful that must feel.
Yeah, and it sucks because it's probably also a whole nother level of helplessness because, you know, we don't know how exhausted he was. We don't know how much pain he was in, but he probably was in a lot of pain. He's probably very exhausted and malnourished and whatever. And it's got to be a whole different level of, like, shitty, basically, when you know that civilization's actually not that far from you. Like, there's people near you, but the chance of them finding you is so low. I mean,
it's dwindling.
It's almost like it's not the same, but I remember seeing this story about a guy who I don't even think they know how it happened, or maybe they have, but somehow in a restaurant, this guy got stuck between like a heavy piece of machinery and a wall, and he didn't die.
Wait, is this 127 hours?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't die initially.
Well, no, that was he went. That's the movie with James Franco based on a real person that like cut off his arm.
Oh, this is not that. Yeah. That guy lived. Okay. This guy died.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing to me is I don't understand how they didn't smell it. You know, when it's just dead and rotting.
Oh, I think I remember this story.
But he was like in a restaurant or something. And he got stuck between a piece of machinery and a wall. And they didn't find his body for like a decade. Like they had no idea where he went. But I think they determined he didn't die immediately. So he just sat there, and they must have closed the restaurant for like a week or something like that for whatever reason. And he just died. Like, he could hear people talking probably. He could hear the sound of cars driving by, but he couldn't do anything, and no one came to help him. And then he just passed away, and they didn't find him for a long time. I mean, that's just such a level of helplessness I don't think anybody could really comprehend. It's like, it's pretty terrible. In this, I guess you have like all the sounds of the forest around, which can be kind of scary when you're already injured and can't do anything. So, yeah, Kenji did not have...
Although on the brink of death, it might be very ethereal and very calming. Like when you're finally approaching the end.
And hopefully that's how he felt, because...
I'm hoping.
That's a horrible way to go.
Yeah.
All right. So it's...
Take us home, Austin.
We are hopefully... On the bright side, we at least know what happened to Kenji. You know, his people are going to know. His family's going to know. There's going to be closure. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, Kenji's ID, which had just been found in the woods, combined with the tapes bearing what must have been Kenji's voice, seemed to be all that was needed to put both mysteries to bed. To top it off, the bones found at the scene had even been sent back to the lab for further analysis shortly after this discovery was made. The results came back that they actually belonged to a young man with type A blood. Furthermore, topographical images that were taken of Mount Asahi Dake showed that the SOS sign had been there at least since September 20th, 1987. So 2 years before it was discovered. So this had to be it, right? All that was left now was to deliver the somber news to Kenji's parents. They had waited long enough, and the closure for the Iwamuras was long overdue. Soon after this discovery, police tracked down Kenji's parents' address and paid them a visit. Soon after they arrived, they wasted no time delivering the news. They started by claiming that they believed they had found the remains of their son and currently had a number of Kenji's personal items in their possession, which they then proceeded to show them. Immediately, they recognized the backpack as Kenji's. Finally, one of the officers solemnly popped the fourth tape into the player and proceeded to hit play. Like always, the anime theme that played at the beginning was cut short and replaced by a helpless man's cry for help. After the short message was played, Kenji's mother remained quiet and transfixed on the player. Feeling that the family probably needed time to mourn, the officers stood up and began to walk towards the front door. Then, from behind them, they heard Kenji's mother say something that stopped them in their tracks. That's not Kenji's voice. Now,
cue the Avengers music.
So I will admit,
when Nick Fury turns around and it's just like, I'm assembling the team.
And it shows the credits, and then don't worry, what comes next will be the after credits scene.
Exactly. Kenji will reappear in Avengers 2.
So I'll be the first to be fair and play devil's advocate.
The ending sounds hella fake.
And to poke a hole in this,
the ending sounds so cartoonish.
Nobody sounds like themselves on a recording. Hell, you thought that recording sounded like a woman. So
I think it's two people.
That isn't, but again, we have to think about this, because the biggest travesty would be if some other person died out there. I'm not going to say.
How do we not know Kenji's height?
Well, I'll tell you. Like, I'm going to guess that they believe that he was around that height anyway. How tall was Kenji Iwamura? No, it's her, the woman. Can I see Kenji's license? It should have his. It should have his. Actually, it might be on there.
That's identity
Kenji.
theft.
I'm not. It's identity theft. I'm not using it to pull out a fucking credit card. I'm not seeing it anywhere, but I'll say he was about 5'3".
Did they not ask his mom? His dad?
I don't know. It never came up. Seriously, it never came up. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say that he was around that height, and the height was not that big of a deal.
It's very presumptuous.
It is, but that's all we have to go off of.
So that's actually pretty crucial to forensics evidence.
I agree. I agree. But it is. I don't know. It's tough to tell.
Listen, and again, this is such a messy case in the sense that you really don't know how many bodies are there.
Right.
You can assume it's one. You can assume it's just Kenji. I personally still think that voice recording was a woman.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, if the mother says it's not Kenji, which honestly the ending really does sound like something out of an end credit scene of any Marvel movie. If the mom says it's not him, then it's probably a woman.
Okay, and that's fine. So if that is the case, no matter how this goes, there is the possibility.
Don't get me wrong. I still think Kenji's dead too.
Oh yes, Kenji's dead. He's done. That's
because if so many people are falling for this fake safe haven, fake taxi, whatever you want to call
fake safe rock. So let me explain.
Then it's probably there's probably a bunch of people that actually probably have died, thinking that they found the actual what is it, the Karen or whatever.
The Karen, yeah. So multiple people have gotten lost. However, people usually figure it out. But Kenji's not from the area. He doesn't know the hiking. A storm came in, so he's completely disoriented. The hikers, I believe, the two hikers that started our story, they did the same fucking thing. So this actually has been designated.
They almost died.
They almost died, actually.
So do we to be presumptuous?
You kind of have to be in this
What did you call it earlier? When you were saying we can infer that these people are not the first ones to get lost.
Yep. But how
many people do you think have gotten lost and died there, though?
We don't know. I mean, it could be a bunch.
Exactly. I mean, they have been more than one body.
This case ultimately prompted them to designate which one was safe rock and which was not safe rock, which is good.
Yeah, they probably should have done that a long time ago.
Agreed. But the ultimate thing here, the ultimate question, no matter how you slice this, there is a possibility there was somebody else.
I like to do it with the crust off.
What's the crust off? Yes, exactly.
I don't like those pieces.
You don't like the crust? You psychopath.
No, I do. When I was a kid, I was kind of I could do without it.
I will admit, Uncrustable PB&Js are pretty good.
Oh, they're so good, but I stopped eating them because I got really health conscious about preservatives and shit.
They're filled with them. They got lots.
God, dude, everything's got preservatives, dude. Ultra processed and ugh.
So before we continue to elaborate on this, I do want to throw out actually, you get to read. I want you to throw out some plot holes because there's even more that we have not discussed. And then after you've identified these, we can have a broader discussion before we put a bow on this.
Let's do it. Let's read, finally, some plot holes. Despite the mother's objections, the case was ultimately closed soon after. All in all, the case would only remain open for a grand total of 11 days. The official report would go on to state that Kenji had built the SOS sign and succumbed to both his injuries and the environment. To this day, authorities maintain that this is, in fact, correct. However, that is not the end of the SOS incident. For many, there is one glaring plot hole that hasn't been explained. How did Kenji Iromura build the sign while suffering from exhaustion and broken bones? According to some experts, it would have taken a healthy person 2 days to do this with tools. Condition of bones suggests that he was incredibly frail. Also remember that no axe was ever found. This would have been impossible for one man to do this alone. So does this mean that Kenji wasn't alone throughout this endeavor? Is it possible that there was actually another person he met in those woods that helped him chop down those trees? Is their body still out there? Or did they possibly find their body and Kenji's is still out there? One interesting thing to note is that despite Kenji's case remaining closed, the police have not formally identified the bones as Kenji's. Why is that? So, I have a lot of opinions. One, I do think someone on the brink of death, pumped full of adrenaline, like, I do think the human body is capable of really trying to fight for survival, even in the most dire of circumstances. Like, yeah, you can be totally exhausted and frail as bones, but adrenaline is a very powerful drug, and that's like a natural chemical in your body that can mask a lot of pain.
Fair.
Like I remember when I got in my car accident, uh, I had an airbag deploy right in my face so fast. I remember it was like it's like Call of Duty, right? It's like someone threw a stun grenade. I literally had my ears ringing. Like I couldn't see. I was like, what just happened? I was smelling smoke, but I got out of that car so fast, ran up to the car that like I bumped into and was asking if he was okay and like making sure he was all right. And then like waited till the cops got there. And like it wasn't until like hours later where I was like, oh my God, I feel like shit. And like I was like, I was severely concussed, but I didn't show symptoms till hours later.
It is interesting. I do want to point out like people's reactions to car accidents, because when I got in my car accident and all the airbags went off, I purposely like didn't move for a second because I wanted to make sure that my neck and my back didn't hurt. I didn't want to go fucking moving and then all of a sudden like, because people have died or become paralyzed because of that, because you hit and you're like, I gotta get out, and then like they fucking move and then like, you know, something happens and they just drop on the ground. The only thing that pissed me off about my car accident was, you know, after I assessed myself, I was like, okay, I think I'm good, and I booted the fucking door open. I did have adrenaline going though, because the way he hit me, the door to the car was like pinned slightly, like right at the hinge. So I had to like open the door and kind of like slide to the left and like start kicking the door repeatedly.
Slide to the right.
Until it kind of like
slide to the left.
Bent enough for me to get out. Everybody clap their hands. Yeah. So, and then after that, some guy running over because he saw the accident. Like, I'm a nurse. I need you to sit down. And instead of being like, hey, why don't you sit down on the ground or sit in my car? He opens. I need you to sit down in traffic right now. He opens the passenger door to the car, which keep in mind, all these airbags just went off. So it just smells like gunpowder and there's smoke coming out and stuff. And he's like, sit in the passenger seat and keep breathing in all this smoke. It's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that was another reason why I got out of the car quickly. Because when I smelled the gunpowder, I actually, in the heat of the moment, I was like, holy shit, this car's about to blow.
A lot of people panic. A lot of people panic. Yeah. And that's another thing too. I was like, I kept on smoke and I was like fighting every urge. I'm like, don't rush, because it's just the smell of the airbags. It's okay.
Yeah.
Plus, gasoline, like a gasoline fire, does not smell like gunpowder. So,
I mean, dude, when you just got hit in the face with like 100-mile-per-hour airbag, it's like,
oh yeah, I'm not criticizing you at all. Like, I'm just, most people do exactly what you did.
You are being a dick.
Just saying, being a car guy sometimes does come in handy. But anyways, yes, I agree with you totally. Adrenaline is a crazy drug. It can make you allow you to do amazing things. I will say though, like, again, it's possible, but chopping down a tree is exhausting. Where I don't even ever chop down a tree. It's freaking exhausting. Like after one, you're like, holy shit. And then you're going to chop down, what was it? 19 trees, 16 trees? Doesn't matter. And then drag these suckers into place. Again, I mean, birch trees aren't that big. Well, they're pretty skinny. These ones were actually between 250 to 400 pounds per log. So that's heavy. I mean, like, that is heavy. Listen, I don't know if adrenaline can cover that, but like, can we fact check that? Yes, I can. 1 second. Austin said so it's correct. Wow, it's crazy. Okay. ChatGPT. Wow, weird. Weird. How heavy were... God, are you using ChatGPT? You're like destroying the environment. I am not using ChatGPT. How heavy were the logs? Unfortunately, even if you use Google now, it's still doing like AI bullshit. It's AI overview, yeah. Logs that were used in the Japanese SOS incident. Each of the birch logs used to construct the SOS sign in the Japanese SOS incident is estimated to have weighed between 150 and 400 pounds. I said 250, 400, so 150 to 400 pounds.
150 is doable.
150 is totally doable, especially to drag something. 400 pounds is quite difficult. But to be fair, not every log was 400 pounds. So, we have to keep that in mind. And it's just, there's a lot of stuff that would be easier to accomplish with this if you had another person. And, again, unfortunately,
I don't know if we could do 400.
I don't have a lot of faith. The problem is, my biggest issue with this is I just don't have faith in the forensic team. Because all of a sudden, right after, they're like, oh, it's Kenji. Okay, well, let's re-examine that. Oh, yeah, it's a man. It's this, it's that. I mean, maybe there were certain things.
It sounds like people that are just like, listen, get off our ass, go home.
Right, exactly. Asking. Which is not what you want when you're trying to identify bodies or what's left of them. So, it really could just be a case of it's as simple as, this is Kenji. He freaking went Hulk mode for a second, put this together, and died. Or he could have gotten injured after. Maybe he built the sign. Maybe he climbed a tree. Maybe he fell off the tree. And broke some bones.
Pushing a 400 log is where he threw out his back.
Could be. You never know. But you do have to think also, if he wasn't hurt, I don't know. It's tough because you really got to put yourself in his shoes. If he wasn't hurt, why go through all the exhaustion of building this massive sign when you could use that energy to go and try to navigate the woods? The amount of energy.
Like you said, he was disoriented and panicked after the storm.
It's true. There is
probably got lost, didn't know which way to go.
There is one thing. I did not write in here, but I did read after I wrote the script. There was I don't know my animes, man, you know that, but there was an anime he watched that his parents specifically mentioned. One of the episodes was they built an SOS sign, and it was one of the theme songs that he had on the tapes. So he may have gotten the idea from that. I don't know. It's possible.
Do you have the anime in here somewhere?
I don't, but I can figure it out quick.
I think I saw a quick thing about that.
Oh, wait. Oh, Astro Boy.
Yes, Astro Boy.
It's on Wikipedia.
Yep, totally. That was it. So that was one of the ones he watched. Maybe he got the idea from that. And that's all plausible. Astro Boy
was a very popular anime.
It's just, I don't know. It's tough. Because, again, you'd have to put yourself in his shoes. You don't know what was going through his mind. You don't know how, you didn't know what state his mind was in. It's so much effort. For example, all joking aside, we go climb Mount Ampersand, right? Somehow we get lost. I know that there is a highway, and there has to be a highway off the mountain somewhere here, because otherwise, how would you get there? Instead of being let's build an SOS sign, I would be let's use that energy and continue to traverse. Let's get some food. Let's build some shelter. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's work on getting to civilization. I wouldn't waste all the energy doing this. So that makes me think he was immobile. He was stuck where he was. He couldn't go anywhere. So he felt, I need to build a sign. So it's weird. There's a lot of chicken and egg kind of stuff going on. We don't really know. A lot of stuff just doesn't make sense. No matter how you look at it, a lot of stuff just doesn't make any sense unless there was another person. Maybe they didn't want to leave him. So hey, I'm going to stay here with you. Let's build a sign and we'll wait it out. I will help, or I'll do all of it if I'm in good enough shape. But it doesn't make any sense to go through all that when you could expend that energy in a better way. But I don't know. I didn't know Kenji.
You certainly did not. All right, take us home, Austin.
All right. The conclusion. The thrilling conclusion. Today, the Japanese SOS incident remains one of Japan's most perplexing unsolved mysteries. What began as a strange distress signal carved into the earth soon spiraled into a web of speculation. One that would involve lost hikers, mysterious tapes, and perhaps even multiple disappearances. Yet, despite years of investigation, no definitive answers have surfaced to this day. Who truly left that message? Was Kenji actually alone on that mountain? Did he show us just how far the human spirit can go when pushed to its limits? Or was there truly somebody else in those woods with Kenji? Sadly, we'll probably never know.
We'll never know.
Never know. Never know.
Never know. No, 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 no.
Are you done?
Sorry.
There is, however, one thing that we can be absolutely certain of. If Kenji really was the one who built that now infamous SOS, his efforts were not in vain. Though he couldn't save himself, this final desperate act ensured that 2 other hikers would not share a similar fate. One final silent testament to human courage in the face of the unknown. And for that, those 2 lost hikers from Tokyo owe Kenji their lives. Kenji's a hero. He saved 2 people.
He is. He honestly is.
You know, it's hard to say that those 2 would have passed away, but you know, judging by the fact that somebody else already did.
I mean, you talked about it already, like at the start, like that they were already malnourished and tired and shaken. Like they were probably going to die if they didn't get found.
So you know, I like to put a positive spin at the end of this one because it's kind of a bummer, but 2 people survived because of him, or him and whoever built that sign. You know, I don't know, but so. I guess after all this, you know, you've mentioned multiple, you know, how you feel and opinions. What do you actually think happened? Like realistically, how many people do you think there were? What happened? And is there any hope for this to have a resolution?
One, I don't think there's hope because when it comes to cold cases, they typically remain closed, overwhelmingly. In terms of what actually happened, we'll never know. And honestly, I think it's probably multiple skeletons. I do think that they probably found different bones, like they were in different spots. I know, yes, elements and wildlife probably could have moved it, but I do think if this place, Fake Spot Rock, was so dangerous that, I mean, listen, Kenji got lost. The 2 hikers got lost. They had to put up signs. How many other people that we don't know got lost? Like, it's very plausible that Kenji was not the first and or last person to die there. It's just we truly won't know. And if the mom says that's not Kenji's voice, it's probably not Kenji's voice. There's a lot of factors in this one that make it really hard to logically come to a conclusion rather than it was a very treacherous hike.
Okay, that's fair. And I'm actually really kind of excited that you feel that way because I'll be honest, I kind of didn't know. Like I was a little worried about doing this one just because it's very different than what we normally do and what we've planned to do and stuff. So the fact that it's actually one that I think we're both like, I'll be honest, I just don't know. I can't, you know, definitive. Put your dogs away. Yeah, it really is.
Just want to say hi.
Woof woof.
Woof, woof.
It's just
the rain.
But yeah, it's just a cold case, and you know, as a feedback situation, which anybody listening is more than entitled to provide your feedback. How do you feel? Like, obviously, like, don't worry, by the way, he's wearing a really great Stranger Things shirt if you're not watching it on YouTube.
Netflix.
But yeah, like, obviously, don't worry, like, the next ones that are going to be all ghosts or aliens or witches or whatever. But do you feel this one actually fit the podcast? Are you happy we talked about this?
Well, that's the fun thing, right? It's our channel. We can do whatever the damn well we want.
It's true. It's very true.
We want to do cold cases. We can do cold cases, dude. This is Mourning Brew. We are not, pigeonholed into one topic or one genre. We are our own autonomous company. And we can do whatever we want.
Fortune 500, here we come, baby.
Exactly, baby.
Okay, cool.
I'm actually happy that we did this.
Glad you feel that
I like talking about stuff like this. This is not necessarily supernatural, but it is unsolved.
Or if this was Forensic Files, Kenji Iwamura climbed the mountain and all was well until it wasn't. Sasquatch did it.
In a brutal triple homicide murder.
But yeah, so cool. I like this one. This is a different one. Yes, it's that ending, but it's honestly sometimes things that are grounded in reality are more interesting and weird because
it's real.
Right, exactly. It's guaranteed real. This happened. There is no refuting it.
There was an actual person that died. Where when you have the supernatural or extraterrestrial, it's very subjective.
Yeah, on what you believe. Like, which side of the fence are you on?
There's not a lot of factual evidence.
Exactly. You have to just go by personal accounts, which people are really bad at those. But yeah, no, it's
you have a lot of Austins out there that like to just spin tails, dude.
I know. Why am I the one who's writing all these scripts?
Because we've established that you're a great storyteller.
Oh, well, I'll take that.
Although you can never tell the truth, you can tell a good story.
I can tell you about the time that I
like
almost
if you're
took over
actually
a country.
Pinocchio, dude, your nose is like it's extending like at least 10 feet.
Fucking turn, take out everything.
Piper.
Oh shit! All right, well, that's
just patting Sam on the head, just like.
Anyways, so that's the Japanese SOS incident.
R.I.P. Kenji Iwamura and any other one that was died on that mountain.
It's unsettling. It's sad. It's tragic. But it's interesting at its core, in my opinion. And
it is.
You know, it's I have to admit, the fact that this is thrown around as, it is weird, don't be wrong, I am not refuting that, but it's commonly referred to as Japan's strangest unsolved mystery. My God, compared to like America's strangest unsolved mystery, which I don't know what that would be.
Black Dahlia, you got what else do you... Oh, there was another one. There's that one that was more recent, like from this century, where it was like that girl at that haunted LA hotel. That,
yeah,
like,
the LA hotel is crazy. Multiple people have died. Serial killers in it and stuff like that. It's so. Yep. I guess what I'm trying to say is like this is tragic and sad and strange. But I have to admit,
America's more fucked up.
Right. Japan's actually doing pretty well.
USA.
Japan's doing pretty good, and this is the weirdest case they got. I'm sure there are weirder out there, but you know, if you search this up on YouTube, you're gonna see, and to be fair, probably our video too, you're gonna see the SOS incident, Japan's strangest unsolved mystery. That's what you're gonna see. So yeah,
we should name our video that.
That's exactly what I'm gonna name it. That's serious. But all right, that is
algorithm. Here we come, baby.
That is honestly all I have. I don't know if you have any final thoughts.
Nothing, unless you want to tease our next podcast.
Is that what you want to do next? For sure. I don't care.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you being serious?
I am.
Because I don't know what the next topic is yet either.
Okay.
So I can't.
Usually you do that.
I know. We will have something. I have a few in mind.
Our producer Piper slacking.
She is, yeah. She's actually on strike right now. I broke a treat in half and gave her half and pretended it was one treat, and she's like, no.
She's like, I am not working for this.
She reported me to the union, and now we're having talks. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay, yeah. Let me know if the strike gets settled. We need our producer.
Oh no.
And I side with her. We need fair wages for our workers.
They set my car on fire.
Not the $100,000 Miata. They wrote fascist pig on it, dude.
Oh God. All right. Well, everyone, I'll let you know how the union strike goes. So.
Yeah, with Antifa. Sorry.
Oh God.
Sorry.
All right, that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in today.
Yeah, thanks for all the for all the people who have stuck around, and thank you for the 3 new subscribers. I hope you actually enjoyed this podcast. If you're new, I'm just going to reiterate: we do episodes every other week. We used to do it every week before, but
strike.
but strike. No, I'll be honest. I just kept getting burned out because we have another channel to deal with and stuff like that, and writing a script. Being expected to write a script every week and then edit and record every week.
ChatGPT can only do so much.
Right. I'm heating the ocean with our with our scripts. Obviously,
the drinking water.
Yes. So we can't have that. Gotta save the environment. But all right, guys. If Fernando doesn't have anything else,
We love you.
We love you. Thank you so much.
Stay safe out there.
Stay spooky.
Keep on hoping and being positive in this world. Stay spooky.
It needs it. Have a good night, everyone.